Right. So in our previous video, we have talked about how we can use SQL exists. So in exist, what we have seen was we have seen something like a query like this, right? So we had an actual query, and then we had a query inside a query. Okay. So what we do is we call this kind of queries as the subqueries. And in this video, we are going to talk about how we can use the subquery and how actually these subqueries work, right? So let's start with, let me just go to the MySQL workbench, and in here, we are going to see how we can use it, okay? So first of all, let me define a question. Okay, the question is get all the products, get all the products where the price is more than the average price of all the products, right? So this is something that we want to get, right? So what we are saying, we want to get all the products, okay, where the product price is more than the average price of all the products, right? So to do that, what we need to do is we need to first get the average of all the products, right? So how can we do that? We will just write select average of the price, select average of price from which data? From the products data, right? So let's do it and let's try to run this one. So you see, this is the average price of all the products. So if I combine all the products and if I take the average, so this is the average value that I'm getting. Okay. Now I'm going to copy this value somewhere. So let me just try to copy this. I will copy it over here. So this is the value that we are getting, right? Let me just try to comment it out. Okay. So this is the value that we are getting. Now, what we want is we want to show all the products. That means first, let me just try to run this one. So what I will do, I will get all the product names now. So I will just, instead of this, I will write the product name, select product name from products data, where I will write where the price is greater than, because I want more than, so I will use greater than these value. Okay, I will just paste it over here and then let's try to run this. Okay, so if I run this and let me just try to also get the price as well here, so that you can also see if these prices are greater than or not. So if you see all the product prices that we have, let me just try to sort it. If you just click over here, it will be sorted. Okay, so the maximum value that we have is 263 and the minimum value that we have is 30. Okay, that means everything is greater than it. Now what we want is we want to understand how the subqueries work, right? And we cannot really do it, if you are querying some like this. If you are writing a query somewhere else and you are getting the value and then you are putting the value, that means you are hard coding the value. Okay, if tomorrow a new product comes, a new product gets added into this data, then your this value will be incorrect, right? So we cannot do that. Now let's try to use subquery in order to solve this problem. Okay, so first what we are going to do is we are going to write select the exact same thing. So just let me just try to copy this. Select product name and product price from products data, and then I will write where the price, okay, the price is greater than, and then instead of this value, what I will do is I will just provide the query that I had written at the very beginning, right? The query was select average of price from the uh, products data, right? Let me just try to write products data, and then I will just run it again. You see, this is the value that we got. So now what I'm going to do is instead of using this value, I will use this query. That is the same thing, right? I'll just put it like this. And then if I try to run this one, see, this is giving me the exact same results, right? How many rows are there? There are 25 rows in here, right? And if I run this query, let's see how many rows are there. Here also you see 25, 25. both of them has the same values. Okay, so this is how the subqueries work, and there are different kinds of subqueries. The first one is the scalar subquery, right? So I will just write it over here, scalar subquery. And then the second one, so we have three kinds of subqueries. The second one is multiple row subqueries. I will just write it over here, multiple row subquery. And then the third one is correlated subquery. Okay, correlated subquery. Now, in our next video, I'm going to talk about all these subqueries. So first, I will go with the scalar subquery. Then I will go with the multiple row subquery, and then I will talk about the correlated subquery as well. Okay. So that's it for this video. See you in the next lecture.